Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Thanks for tuning in to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now, Ryan, you at DDC Wheels and your partners have tons of experience in the wheel business, and a few years ago you decided to spin off and create your own wheels. How come?
So DDC Wheels is strictly a dually wheel company. We founded the company in 2019, and what we brought to market is a direct bolt option for both 8 and 10 lug trucks. There's no need for adapters. Everything is direct bolt, hub-centric front and rear, and you're going to find the biggest load ratings possible in every one of our packages.
Let's talk about adapters. Why is that a bad thing to have an adapter?
Adapter is not only extra added cost to the package that you're buying from another wheel manufacturer, but the sheer weight, it's not really the best solution, we thought. So we saw a void in the market, and that's why we came up with DDC. It's all direct bolt, and people are loving them.
And of course, extra weight, that means more wear and tear in the vehicle, and it can also become a safety issue as well.
Being that all of our stuff is hub-centric, that is super important when you're towing heavy, whether it's a camper, hot shot, or going across the United States, towing super heavy. Being hub-centric front and rear, it's a very key factor.
And what kind of makes and models are we talking here for trucks?
Chevy, GMC. We go back pretty early, 92 on the GM, and we're working on some stuff that's going to be even earlier. But we go all the way up to current applications, whether it's Chevy, GMC. Ford, we go back to currently 05. We're working on applications that go back to the 70s and stuff. Same thing with Dodge and Dodge Ram.
Of course, form is important. These wheels look amazing.
Yeah.
And what about function there? How did that follow?
That was an important aspect that when we knew we were going to do a direct bolt application and we built as much load rating into it as we could, we knew the right tire had to be the perfect option, depending on the user themselves and how they tow, how they use their truck. Do they have a camper that goes into the back of the bed, all that stuff. Our important factor too when we built these packages was to make sure that the end consumer, when they're building that truck with whatever lift kit, keeping it stock, that they can get the right tire option as far as the width goes and overall diameter. So while you can go up to 1250 wide with our packages, you can go narrower too. So it just narrows it up just a little bit more.
You said everything's hub-centric, and also people are trying to achieve that 10-bolt look.
Yep.
How do you do that?
What makes our 8-lug packages unique is they are a direct bolt like we've been talking about, but you get that real cool 10-lug look. And what we do is we incorporate a larger aluminum cap, and then behind that cap, the lug nuts that we supply physically mount the wheel to the chassis. And then in the face of the wheel, we have 10 billet bolts. And then we have 2 options for lug covers. Ones that just slide over, and then we also have a billet aluminum one that you can thread on.
And those look fantastic.
They do.
Kind of finishes the look there. And I know there's a lot of companies right now that are having trouble with stock, the way things are in the world today.
Sure.
People are waiting and waiting for shipments.
Yeah.
But now you guys, how'd you avert that?
A couple years back, basically just roundtable and said, you know what, we can't sell something we don't have in stock. So we invested a lot of time and money into making sure we had that inventory. Because a lot of dually wheel companies out there, they're not like a specific dually wheel company like we are. They usually sell regular truck wheels and whatnot. So we knew the importance of calling in, getting the owners on the phone, talking shop. But we had 1, 2, 3 different options to choose from. You didn't have to wait 6 to 12 weeks to get your package. Nobody likes to wait.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your customer service then. Folks are calling, they need wheels. What do they need to do?
So if they call our shop, you're going to definitely get an owner, myself, Ryan, Blake, or Steve. We're there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You can get us on social media as well. We never stop working. So when you call in, you can ask just about any question. And we pride ourselves on having the knowledge of, whether, like I said, stock, leveled, or lifted. What's the best wheel? What's the best tire fitment? Sometimes even answering like suspension questions and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the thing I love about you at DDC. You're not just addressing the wheels and it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Correct.
You want to solve problems.
Correct.
How important is that to you as a business owner?
You can have a great solution and a great product, but you got to have a good team behind it that kind of knows what they're talking about, and obviously a good customer base out there.
We talked about different makes and models. What different sizes are available through DDC Wheels?
So we concentrate on 2 sizes, and it's based on the tire manufacturers that have the broadest offerings for the quality tires out there. It's 20-inch and 22-inch.
Well, you can find it all, performance and good looks too, ddcwheels.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. We're going to keep on trucking.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by Odors X, professional disinfection and odor removal service.
Thanks for joining us here on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now close your eyes and imagine a bicycle. All right, now make it electric. Open your eyes now. Yes, everything you just envisioned is completely wrong. This is how it's done. This is an e-bike from Electric E-Bikes. Now tell me, Levi, how did you go from the classic bicycle or even e-bike to this?
Yeah, let me take you on a journey. 2019. My old man, my mom, they wanted e-bikes and they didn't want to spend $3,000 to $5,000 on them, right? And so they came to me and asked my buddy and I to try to figure it out. So we cook up our first prototype version, create our first batch of them and everything like that, go back to my parents and say, here it is, you know, ready to sell it, you know, at all the trade shows and everything like that. Absolute disaster. We couldn't sell these bikes to my own parents. They wanted to go faster. They wanted more range. They had this feeling of, oh, if I get a bike, then I need a bike rack and all those things. And so then we got to go back to the drawing board and we got to redesign this whole thing. We need it to be foldable. We need it to have class 3, 28 mile per hour performance. You know, all of those things were just, you know, created in this bike off of that initial disaster of our first design of our e-bike. So yeah.
Some of the best things are born from accidents here.
Oh, definitely.
So what are some of those features that evolved in the bike once you guys started learning from all the folks out there?
Yeah, so, you know, I think most notably is the foldability aspect of it that we saw here, is that, you know, you can do something like this, you can fold the pedals in, you can fold the frame in. You know, this is, you know, the big aspect of the bike that really has made it such a massive success. And what that allows us to do is deliver every single bike fully assembled, ready to ride. You know, customers, what we learned, did not want to be building their own bikes and everything like that. And we kind of came to this realization that it's our job to build the bike, not theirs. So that was one of the biggest things that we got, and it allows you to not have to buy a bike rack and all that stuff. You can just fold this up and throw it in your RV, your van, your car, whatever it is, and it makes life simpler for the customer. So I think that's one of the big things. The whole bike is running off a 48-volt system. And so the battery, it's a removable battery that's hidden inside the frame here. And so that is what powers the 500-watt, 850-watt peak motor here in the back here. But what's really cool and unique about this is still a class 3 e-bike. So there's not really any other bike on the market right now that achieves class 3 performance with a 500-watt system. And so having really dialed in temperature control system back here allows us to reach that performance, that speed, but still deliver the customer a really, you know, great value and price point. So, you know, I mentioned how my old man didn't want to spend a couple grand on them. Well, we had this feeling of we have to be sub $1,000 for my own parents to even buy from us. So let's just try to get there. And that was the objective. And, you know, now we have successfully done that, have bikes starting at $799. And that's what's allowed us to be, you know, the fastest growing electric bike company, and now currently the largest electric bike company in 2022, which is really gnarly. So it's that aspect of attainability. There's a direct correlation between that price point and the number of bikes we can get out there on the road. And so we're super mindful of that. But meanwhile, you gotta be super dialed in on the quality aspect of it. So just because it's half the price doesn't mean you can do half the quality. You need to exceed all expectations on every single front. And so when people go through the bike and everything, they'll notice all the same parts. So, we have these Well-Go folding aluminum pedals. We use Pro Wheel cranks. We use Shimano. We use Tektro. We're still rocking a full 48-volt system. Front oil suspension, CST tires, all of these things that you would expect to see on a bike, $2,000-$3,000, right? We just packaged in on a bike that's $999 and it's showing up to your doorstep, fully assembled, ready to ride, which just makes life easy.
It's features like those that make these bikes so popular. Just how popular?
Yeah, so if you were to look at the EV market as a whole, and you look at Ford, GM, Nissan, Audi, Volkswagen, all those players in the space right now, basically everybody not named Tesla, combine all those, and we will sell more EVs in 2022 here in the US than all of them combined.
Get an e-bike for yourself. Get one for every member in the family because they are that affordable. Go to electricebikes.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coating, so do not go anywhere.
Dragonfire Tools, quality affordable storage. Proud sponsor of our DragonfireTools.com studio.
Thanks for riding along with Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. If you're into car care products, you of course know the name Auto Geek. Now, Auto Geek, Robin, has been around for 30 years. How did the company start and then how did it evolve?
Auto Geek started as a retail store and evolved into a catalog company. And then in the 90s, when websites started coming out, Auto Geek created a website, and now we're one of the largest website dealers for car care solutions.
Wow, thousands of customers every day going to Auto Geek to get what they need. And something you're featuring now is your Speedmaster series?
That's correct.
How did that start?
Well, one of the most popular products to this date that we started with was the Speedmaster wheel brush, and that's kind of evolved. Now we have the Junior too, but it's a great product. It's very popular through detailers and DIYers.
And what's the gist? It's called Speedmaster. Why?
It makes everything efficient for you. It's super easy to use. Super easy to clean your wheels inside and out. It's flexible, so obviously gets the job done a lot quicker.
And the Speedmaster series is all about getting things done quicker. Over here, this is a towel, the likes of which I've never seen.
Okay, so instead of traditional clay, that's a clay towel, and the one on top there is a clay mitt, and you get a lot more usage out of that. You can get actually like 50 to 80 uses out of it. Better than traditional clay, meaning that if you drop it on the ground and it picks up any debris, you can actually just rinse it off and get right back to work.
And then you're working on your wheels with the brushes, and you also have this mitt here
The mitt.
for the wheels.
Yeah, so that's great because you can use it on the faces of the wheels where this might get into the holes and nooks and crannies. The mitt is small, so you can put it right on your hand and get right into maybe the spokes area and the faces of the wheels. It rinses super clean, so when it picks up the grime and the road dust, it traps it, doesn't let it scratch, but then you can rinse it out very clean.
Now, before we go any further, people might be thinking paid spokesperson, but that's not the case. You have used the products from Auto Geek before.
Yeah, so I have a detail shop, and every product here you see on the table is in my shop, and I use it almost daily.
And the towel is something that you've raved about. Tell me what that's called.
So it's called the Notorious DRY.
Perfect.
Super, super absorbent, and you can dry a whole car with just one towel and then reuse it after that. My favorite towel.
And then some brushes too. There's a difference between the two there.
Yep, one's very soft for delicate surfaces, so no scratching, but this package here comes with 5 different sizes so that you can get into all the nooks and crannies.
And with all 5, of course, you can cover any kind of surface or any little gap
Right.
there as well.
Yep.
And this is an interior scrubber, if you will.
Yes, so for hard surfaces,
Yeah.
leather, plastic, vinyl, gets into nooks and crannies with this nice point on the end here too.
I like it. And you make the job easier for detailers and for folks at home that are working on their vehicles because
Sure.
there's a stool that you have as well.
So the creeper stool, the detailer stool, it's got a little caddy, got great caster wheels on it, easy to slide around, comfortable to sit in. You can put all your tools and products in it while you're scooting around the car.
As you can see, the Speedmaster line has everything you need to make your job more efficient. You get done a lot quicker and it's a lot easier. Check them out online at autogeek.net/Motorhead. And oh, by the way, when you go there, type in the promo code Speedmaster25 for 25% off. came all the way to New Hampshire to hang out here in the living room with Joe and a couple of our closest friends. And well, okay, actually it's not the living room. Believe it or not, this is the waiting area here at the headquarters of New Hampshire Oil. This is where folks get to hang out while their car is being worked on. And Joe, this is an amazing customer experience. What can folks expect when they roll in here?
Well, one, we try to make this feel like it is a living room, not a garage. We want them to be comfortable. And then next, what we're going to do is we're going to involve them in the process to the extent that we can. One of the things we're doing now is we're putting cameras in the garage so that they can view the monitor from here and see their vehicles being undercoated. When we started, we had a window from our waiting room into the garage in every one of our shops. Not possible with this shop because the building's out back. But they're always involved. We'll pull the vehicle in, we'll let them inspect it before they leave, if that's what they want, every year.
How important is it for you to give them that kind of experience when they come in?
It's what I would want.
And did you look at other places, other service places, to see what they were doing and to see what you liked and what you didn't like and wanted to adapt it?
No, I just gauged on what I thought was appropriate and what I treat everyone the way we would like to be treated. And we're a family-run business, so it's from John's experience on the phone with my son Anthony to Carol, right down to the technician who looked under his vehicle this morning and discussed options.
And how important is it for you to have this experience then translate to your dealers around the country?
We emphasize this experience and the professionalism and the application being done properly, because honestly, a good product is completely worthless unless it's applied properly. Most of our dealers come in here and train, they're invested. We're also now having dealers ask us, how can we take this to the next level? And franchising might just be the next step for us.
Of course, if you're around Chichester or Manchester, New Hampshire, you can bring your vehicle right here, but you can also check on the web to see if there's a dealer or a franchise near you. NHOilUndercoating.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, so keep it right here.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. Tint World, America's largest and fastest growing automotive styling centers. AP Laser, leading the way. And by Dragonfire Tools, industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage.
Whether you're a homeowner or a business owner and you're looking for tool storage, DragonfireTools.com is the place to go. And the 22-drawer roll-around might be a great place to start. This thing is a monster, Lou. Tell me about it.
So with over 1,516 pounds of steel here, Dave, I mean, we've thought of a lot. We've done a lot of research and a lot of engineering and able to put this out in the market.
What are some of the features that make this really versatile?
With the amount of storage that we have here, we have several different drawer types. We've got some thin drawers, we've got some wide drawers, we've got some ultra deep drawers that are over 11 inches deep for some of that big tooling, and then we've got these twin open door cabinets here.
What are some of the construction features that make this durable and it's going to make this something that's going to last for a long time?
We have a 14 gauge tubular steel all welded frame here. So when this thing shows up, it shows up just like you see it. There's no assembly. This is one of the only units that we have that the casters actually come on the unit when we ship it, and that's for safety purposes, just so that you're not trying to put the casters on yourself with this being so big and heavy.
And let's talk about the casters. This thing is so enormous, yet it's easy to roll around because of the quality casters you put on it.
Yeah, so we have 6 heavy-duty swivel casters underneath. The 4 corners are locking swivels, and all the casters have grease fittings for maintenance.
You have high-quality casters, but the drawers themselves are built to last for a long, long time. What makes them so durable?
So we're using 16-gauge galvanized steel drawer bodies on these with gusseted bottoms. So the wide drawers and all the double rail drawers have the gussets on the bottom of the drawer for strength and rigidity.
At DragonfireTools.com, you can find the tool storage solution for you, whether you're a pro or you're just working at home. DragonfireTools.com has a special discount code too for Motorhead Garage viewers. You'll get free shipping and a discount if you type in Motorhead. You can go to Tribotex.com and see all their scientific research and animations. It'll show you how Tribotex works. But if you're still skeptical, just crack open the engine here, Pasha, and you can see on these main bearings that Tribotex is working. How can you tell?
If you look at the engine, very often you cannot tell which oil was used before. But when you use Tribotex, you see film, ceramic coating, deposited as the gray layer of a coating that coats worn out parts. On the rod and main bearings, it's very broad area and intense one. But on the cap bearings that does not have inserts and just plain aluminum, they designed to worn out during the lifetime. So once they start to wear out, valve trains start to make noise, and there is no way to replace it or upgrade it. If you rebuild the engine, you still put those old cap bearings in. So the Tribotex put the layer here where material is worn and replaces it. And another question people ask us, what does it do in the piston cylinder group? Does it coat cross-hatching or something? We did specific tests just to make sure that we not violate manufacturer specification on cross-hatching. And we applied coating to cylinder and ring group and analyzed the surface. So cross-hatching still remains there and remains intact, and the layer goes on top of the asperities and form this thermal barrier that retains heat inside of the cylinder to push your pistons with more force. That's why it is unique application and unique technology that does not much with your oil but become part of your engine. So after Tribotex, you can wear our coating, not your engine.
And Tribotex makes your engine run better. It also makes it last longer. It actually repairs the parts of your engine. Check out how it works at tribotex.com. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Let's say we do it again next week. Same time, same sandbox. And if you have a product you want to see featured on the show, email Jeff at masterstv.com. We'll get you here in our Masters Entertainment Group studios. From our entire crew here at the studio, so long. We'll see you next time.